Hey everybody, what's going on? How you doing? Okay, so I get a lot of calls and people talking to me. Okay, what happens if I get a deal? Okay, real exciting. This is great. So something you need, a couple things you really need to be paying attention of about with situational awareness essentially when you get a deal. Okay, so it's very, 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 very important to keep to pay attention to what I'm going to tell you. Get a pen and paper, hit pause, whatever. Okay, so check it out. Essentially, if you have a buyer that's going to buy your contract, okay, in a wholesale situation, all right, that's specifically kind of what I'm talking about now. You want to know what kind of buyer it is, and if that buyer is using his own cash, okay, that's a true cash buyer, all right, and you want to know that, okay, and so kind of what your job is going to be. And this, if it's your first deal, or maybe you've only done it once or twice, is you're essentially going to be what we call a transaction coordinator. It's your job. The sooner if you want to make sure it goes smoothly, with no headache, no drama. You want to babysit this deal, okay? And so you're going to make sure that the sellers. So essentially, there's two transactions I'm going to talk about really quick. If you have a deal in the you have a buyer who wants to buy your contract from 123 Main Street. Okay, do you follow me? The first one is a scenario with a cash buyer. Okay, so you want to make sure that on your contract that the seller, I'm sorry, your buyer's got a little bit of another fund of earner some money on there, so that he's serious or she's serious. Okay, and that money is either given to you. Okay, just at your LLC, or you personally, if you don't have an LLC yet, okay, and you have it, you open escrow with either your title company or your closing attorney. Very important, okay, and that your escrow officer knows the transactions. You want to give the escrow officer, okay, or your closing attorney, your executed documents. Purchase sale agreement between the A to B, and your assignment contract between you, B, and your C buyer. Okay, very important. And make sure they got that. Email it them, call them. Hey, I'm sending it to you. Okay, otherwise it's going to be sitting in some email no one knows about. Okay, or it could take a while. Right, so very important. All right, and then get the wiring instructions. Make sure that the escrow officer gets a hold of your cash buyer and gives them the wiring instructions, or a time to bring in his cashier's check at closing. Okay, does that make sense? Very important you do that. If you don't follow up with them, escrow folks are just like everybody. They're busy and they're the priorities and this and that. If you just kind of email them and everything's gonna be fine, that's and also there's a tooth fairy too, and the tooth fairy gives you money when you lose your teeth. You know what I'm saying? That's not real. Okay, what's real is escrow coordination. I mean, you want to make sure you're on this, okay? Because it's your money, right? And anything could happen to blow the whole deal up. I've had guys die the night before closing, literally die of a heart attack night before closing. I mean, I feel so bad for the guy's widow and everything, but I mean, it just happens. Okay, so just you're not. It's not. It hasn't closed till you got the money in your pocket. Till it's funded. Okay, up the word's funded. All right, so that's you have a cash buyer. Okay, and the second thing you need to be aware of, if your buyer has a loan, you want to know what kind of loan it is. Okay, and if it's like a loan, a bank loan, conventional loan, or even FHA, whatever, that's going to be you, especially, okay, I gotta do a whole video on FHA. If it's FHA, VA, USDA, you potentially could run into some issues with your buyer using that as a source to fund the deal. Okay, and the reason why is because of the lender. Okay, so what's driving this? If you're doing a wholesale deal to a C buyer who isn't actually a cash buyer but is getting a loan, the person driving that train is the underwriter, okay, for the lender. That's it, okay? And that you can't talk to underwriters. They're the folks behind the curtains of the cigars and brandy and the smoke. And it's off limits, okay? So you'll just get trickles of stuff they need, this and this and that. So you really want to make sure if your C buyer is getting a loan with a lender, okay, that you have all the information that lender wants. Well, you're not going to have it, but your C buyer does. Okay, so we had a situation recently where it's just, my goodness, all the stuff wasn't there, and the underwriting it kind of wait around, take a week. Oh yeah, we need this. Oh, we need no. You don't want any of that. You want it all lined up. Okay, very important that you get, because otherwise, again, this is your cash, and could get tied up. So you want to know what the underwriter is needing. So this is what you need to do. If your C buyer is getting a loan with the lender, you want to get the lender's information and talk to them directly and say, hey, what do you need from me so that we can get this thing moving forward? You need everything, okay? The C buyer is going to need an insurance binder for the house. You got to make sure that gets there, okay? That they're probably going to need to have some cash to bring to the loan, and you got to make sure your C buyer's got that, and that they know that the lenders, that your C buyer is coordinating with their lender, okay? Because if that doesn't happen, you won't get paid, okay? It won't close. So, the last thing is, just make sure you're following up, and the lender and your escrow account, your escrow officers, communicating, or your closing attorney, so that you can get this thing closed. And I say this because it is nothing. It can be so exasperating. You think, I got a deal, the numbers work and everything else. This is great, and you wait 2-3 weeks and it blows up because there's something was wrong with the lender. Okay, so if you don't know who the lender is, you got to talk to them and make sure everything that they need is being gotten there. They're getting everything they need, the lender needs from your C buyer. Okay, all right. Now, one last caveat. In this whole process, you notice how I'm talking about title and escrow a whole lot, okay, or your closing attorney. I'm saying that because it's real. You've got to build. If you're so excited, I want to get a deal, get a house under contract, blah blah, do stuff, and you don't spend any time in generating a good business relationship with a title company, okay, at closing, if you just pick some random title company, I mean, that's not wise, because if they don't know you, all right, you're not going to be a priority to them, and they might be jerks, because I'll give you a little secret. Not all title folks are the same. Some title folks are really complete jerks. I'm professional, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I can do a whole set of videos on bad title folks. So anyway, hope this helps. If you have questions about this, you want some help, free strategy session, whatever, let me know, and we'll walk you through it. But make sure you build a relationship title. It's so important. Okay, so let me know, and we'll if you need any help. And Godspeed. Talk soon.